FEC, this is Aaron, Mutha Alamere, and today I'm going to be answering a couple threads by Robert Hagerman on my turntable. He's got a great channel, great guy, always catches videos and talk back and forth, and he's one of my favorite guys in the VC. But before I get to that, if anyone was looking for my Tipsy Tuesday turntable spins video, it got blocked. So, which sucks because that was the most fun I've ever had making a video. I was rocking out. I was playing a Sweet FA, and I guess it's because I was playing that band. I thought they were obscure enough that it would be alright, but when I took a look, they are actually on a major label, so I'll go back to using independent releases on my videos. Lesson learned there, and that's just too bad because I was like, when I was done with that video, I was like, man, this is going to be like one of my highest rated videos. I know, I just had so much fun on it, and it was a really good, I thought it was really good, so, and I thought it was really weird because I got 5 views right away and then nothing. And I was like, oh, that's weird. I went to bed, woke up the next morning, and it was 4 views. I don't know how that happens. That's kind of weird that someone unwatched it. And then, so I was like commenting to people, did you get to see the video? And they're like, no, I haven't. And then I checked it out and it was blocked. So that's why no one's got to see it. But if anyone did see it, please comment and let me know that you were able to see it. You know, I had a bunch of great records on there. I will, at the end of this video, show the records I actually listened to, not the ones I was going to get to. I'll save all that for next week. So, but first off, I got to get to this thread from Robert Hagerman, and it's 2 things. It's show bands with 2 singers and show bands with 2 guitarists. So I got a few bands that have both, and I've got some bands that have one or the other. So I'll start off, first off, with the singers, and got some Queens of the Stone Age here, and Josh Homme is the main singer. But then also Nick Oliveri, the bass player, sings a few songs here and there throughout their records, and they're both great. Nick Oliveri almost has a death metal voice, really cool. It gives a different sound. And Queens of the Stone Age is one of my favorite bands. They're really good. And up next, here's one a lot of people might not think of as having 2 singers. ZZ Top. You got Billy Gibbons, who does most of the vocals, but also Dusty Hill sings some songs, and then sometimes in songs, they both are singing back and forth, which is really cool. Love ZZ Top, one of my very favorite bands ever, of course. And so you got 2 singers from ZZ Top. And then next up, I got some Alice in Chains. And of course, Lane Staley is the main singer, but the same thing with ZZ Top. Jerry Cantrell shares vocals on a lot of songs, and then he sings lead on a few as well, which is really cool. And then they have a new singer now, and then Jerry Cantrell still sings. So Alice in Chains. And then this band, most of the time they only have 1 singer, but there was a certain era of the band where they had 2 singers, and this is Deep Purple. At this point, you had Glenn Hughes and David Coverdale both singing, which is really cool. They had totally different vocal styles, and it was really cool, the interaction of their vocals. You can really tell when Coverdale's in there. He has such a unique voice, but yeah, like even the song Burn is mainly Glenn Hughes. That's a great song. But so Deep Purple. Now, to start with my 2 guitarists. And this is the band that got me in trouble. One of my favorite bands, one of my favorite albums, Sweet FA. And they have 2 guitarists, John Lightning Huffman, and James Thunder are the 2 guitarists. So Lightning and Thunder. And they're both great guitarists. Excellent, very underrated. This band is so good. Man, I had this thing cranked up so loud. I had played the entire first side of the record, and I was just rocking out to it, having a great time. But oh well, I won't do that again. I'll stay away from the major labels. And then next up, here's an obvious one. And this band has always had 2 guitars, but now they have 3. This is Iron Maiden. And on this one, they have 3 guitars. They have Adrian. They got, the 3 guitarists. I'm losing my mind here. I'm a little bit still going from last night. So they had, Adrian Smith, Dave Murray, and Yannick Gears in this conception. Usually it was the 2, and Yannick Gears came in later, and they had a different guitarist at the beginning as well. It was, Adrian Smith wasn't there. So, but that's a 3 guitarist band. Really great band, of course. Everyone knows them. And here's one of my favorite. This band's so good. Dirty Looks. The lead singer, Henrik Ostergaard, does most of the lead guitar, but also have Paul Lydell on guitar. So two great guitarists. And Paul Lydell, after he was in Dirty Looks, went on to be a member of Dangerous Toys and was on their Pissed record and everything on from there on, which is really cool. I could have put Dangerous Toys in this too, but there they are. Great band. Dirty Looks is great. They're kind of like a little, kind of AC/DC-ish sounding, but they have their own stuff though. They're not clones. They're great. Now the next three have both. And I'll start with the obvious one first. Two guitarists, one of them's just rhythm, and four singers. Kiss, of course. Every member here sings. Then they all release solo albums where they all sing, obviously, on them. And then you got Paul Stanley and Ace Frehley on guitar. Ace, of course, is the lead. Paul's a great rhythm guitarist, so. But this is a, Kiss, four singers. So, and then staying with that, I'm going to go with Frehley's Comet. And this is a double whammy as well. It's got Ace Frehley and Todd Howarth here at this point in the band, who both play guitar and both sing. So Todd Howarth sings a few songs throughout their first couple Frehley's Comet records, and Ace Frehley, of course, does both. So, great band. And then here's one. Two great guitarists, and people think of them as having one singer, but they actually had two. Guns N' Roses. Of course, you got Slash and Izzy Stradlin on the guitar, and they both played lead at parts, both played rhythm at parts. Slash was mainly lead, but Izzy played a lot of lead too. And then Axl Rose, of course, the singer, but you also had Izzy Stradlin doing vocals on a few songs, like Dust and Bones and amongst others. And I really like his voice too, and his solo album is so good. So there you go. There's my response to your thread there, Robert. Hope that was good. And so now I'll just show kind of what I did listen to and just comment briefly on these records since no one got to see it. So I started out with this Super Session. I'd actually never heard this till yesterday. Pretty good. It's a little jazzy in parts, but it's a good solid blues record. Good stuff there. And then I had another blues one and some John Lee Hooker. This is great. This is more my style of blues here, the classical style, classic blues. I really love that. And this is a great record. John Lee Hooker, House of the Blues. Great stuff. And then thanks to Robert Williams. I didn't get to do all my shout-outs I did yesterday, so I got to re-shout them out. Robert Williams gave me this, sent me some VCLT, and this was in it. Never heard Weather Report until yesterday. I tried to listen to it last week and never got around to it. Really good jazz fusion. Good stuff. Thank you very much, Robert. And then I heard some Sugarloaf. Great band, great album. I'd only heard their other one until I heard this one. This is Spaceship Earth. I have their second record as well, and I love that one. But this one here is really good. It's classic rock, a little bit of prog, a little bit of psych mixed in. Great stuff here. Sugarloaf. And then my first time ever hearing this record, and I've mentioned Glenn Kellaway and Robert Hagerman would really appreciate that I'd listen to this, and listened to this yesterday for the first time. This is such a great record. The band, I'd heard songs from them, of course. I knew a few songs off this, but I'd never heard this all the way through. Really great. I could have used this. This has three singers, so there's another three singers for you, Robert. It's got Levon Helm, of course, Rick Danko, and Richard Manuel. So there we go. And then next up, I heard some Deception Bay. They're kind of an indie alternative goth. I don't know what you call it. There's kind of a mixture of those. Pretty good stuff here. And I listened to My Wasp. This is such a good record, man. I love this. It's my autograph. This sounds so killer. This album just blows right out of the speakers. Great stuff. And then I'd been watching Fozzy Vital Mania, I think is his channel. Fozzy. He's a great guy. And he pulled this record, and I was like, man, I got to listen to that. And Manowar, Sign of the Hammer. This is such a great record. I love Manowar. All Men Play on 10. That intro song is so good. This whole thing is great. I was blasting this out yesterday. Really good record. I know I've got a lot of Manowar, but that's one I don't listen to as much. I don't know why. And then I listened to this Tigers of Pantang. I really prefer their first two records, which I have. Wildcat and Spellbound, those two albums are excellent. This one here, I don't like quite as well. It's still got some good tracks on it, but it's a lot more, they threw some synth in and electric drums, and it just took away the guts out of them a little bit. It's just not as good. But it's still Tigers of Pantang, who I really like, so. But this is not nearly as good as their other records. And this here is a great one, some Dead Engine. Man, I love this record. Hard driving metal. Good stuff. Some Dead Engine there. Then I heard some Laz Rocket, another really great one. Amazing record here. Got a couple Laz Rocket records, and this one just in your face, great metal. And I got some Horse London going. I love this band. This is a 6-song record. You know, this, I might play this on one of mine, but I'd have to flip it because it's only 6 songs. But it's great. They're kind of like a, you know, a biker, heavy metal, great stuff, Horse London. And I listened to this, my wife bought me this, and I had the original American copy before, and I keep hearing Cloudy Mile, they're talking about how Sanctuary, he doesn't like that in it. So I give it a listen, and he's right, it's kind of better without it. And this one is the version without it. 180 gram, great sounding record, love Iron Maiden. And like I was saying last night, my 2 favorite Maiden records are actually Peace of Mind, which has always been my favorite, and then this one. And I like, you know, I love all theirs, but those are my 2 favorites actually. You know, Killers and Power Slave and Number of the Beast are all great as well. And Somewhere in Time and Seventh Son. I love all those. I like all their newer stuff too. And then listen to some Uriah Heep, Look at Yourself, my favorite Uriah Heep record. That song, July Morning, is just an epic masterpiece. Very strange lyrics, very dark at parts and progressive, and just a great song. This is my favorite Uriah Heep record. I love this record. Cool back cover too. But this is a great record. Look at Yourself. Kind of sounds a lot like Deep Purple Mark II version. It could fit right in with In Rock and Fireball and Machine Head, and it's really good. I listened to the Sabbath yesterday. Pretty good stuff. It's got Eric Singer on the drums. It's got Glenn Hughes on vocals from Deep Purple, which is cool. It's not as good as most of the Sabbath, but it's a good solid record. And listen to Creatures of the Night. This version here, this is the version I started out listening to. I had this on cassette first. And, you know, it's basically the same record except for the songs Killer and Saint and Sinner are flipped. So they're in a different sequence. They flipped them where they are on the record. And I'm kind of used to this version here more, even though I listen to the other one a little more now. But I really love this. This is one of the best heavy metal records of all time. Creatures of the Night. Amazing. And heard some Thor. Love this record. This is my one I went to right as I was getting done with Sweet FA, and this is just a killer. I love, you know, Keep the Dogs Away. This is such a great song. This whole album's good. Thor's very underrated. Killer metal. And thank you very much, Chris Prophy. For getting me into this band. Listen to this again. Slip it in. I love this. It's my favorite Black Flag record. And I just gone out of hearing Tigers of Pantang, which was kind of keyboardy. This is more metal than that is. This is a metal record, even though it's punk. It's so good. Man, the guitar work in this, amazing. Great record. Thanks, Chris Prophy. And then my last one I heard yesterday was Sword, Sweet Dreams. I love this record. I actually like this better than Metalized. I love Metalized, but this is always, I still have my old cassette of this. Love this record. It's just in-your-face metal. It's not thrash, but it's not hair metal, as they call it. I hate that term, but this is just great music. Great metal. Sword, Sweet Dreams. Love this record. So there we go. I just thought I'd recap actually what I did listen to. Next week I will be more careful, and hopefully we'll get blocked. So, all right, everybody. Hope you had a great day, and all right, I'll keep on rocking.